So TopoShare was introduced to me last year at TUC 24, and I remember seeing Russell Hall's presentation from Langen about using TopoShare, talking about some of the ways how clients can use it to see the data, they can make markups, get more information back, and I was immediately sold. I came back to my company the next week and I said, Bill Swope, we got to get this. So when we first got TopoShare, obviously I wanted to do a couple test projects, get some easy extraction jobs, just do the normal routine, get some line work, get some LiDAR data in there. It wasn't until we had this job in Oklahoma, it was a 10-mile pavement analysis project. And I have to tell you, that made a huge sell with the engineers. I mean, to be able to take what just is like Excel reports and some basic PDF maps and make this an interactive visualization tool to see the PCI, to see the deliverables, all the reports all in one place without even having to have the TopoDOT software, they immediately told me, we want this every single time. Nice. And I actually took that and turned it into a presentation and presented to the NCT COG for the Dallas district in selling pavement analysis. Wow. So it's that is definitely a huge part of the process there for me. And I have to give a big shout out to the TopoDOT team out here because they are so receptive to little things. I know I can be a pain in their butt sometimes, but they always have an answer for me, and they make fixes on the fly, and I love that in them. And for them, that's why they're at the top of our workflow.
So the transition to bringing TopoDOT and TopoShare into our fold has been a pretty seamless operation. We started as a very small company where we only have about 30 people at our company. So bringing on a system like TopoDOT has been huge for our company because it just really increases what we can do with such a small group of people. And without a product like TopoShare to distribute and manage our information, we were handing small flash drives back and forth to each other and trying to manage our data that way. But once Jennifer and the team really got a hold of us and showed us a better way to do it, we were able to incorporate that into our workflow to really increase our productivity and reduce overlap between what one extraction technician was doing versus the other. And really it actually drove our costs down in the process of incorporating that in, because we found that working through the cloud versus a lot of physical servers that we had in-house, it was easier to manage overall, less overall work that we had to do in-house in order to maintain the same quality of information and reduce the time that we were able to get extracted data out.
Understood, and I really appreciate your take on this, because a lot of times people think that they need to have a huge operation in order to incorporate TopoShare.
We had been, passing hard drives back and forth or holding information on our local server, and the expense per gigabyte was pretty high in comparison to now that we've brought the cloud into the mix. We've unlocked the ability for our coworkers to work remotely without access to a real way to share it efficiently through TopoShare. We were handing off full trajectories and trying
file.
Yes. So actually having things parsed out into data sets that were chunked appropriately in a size that we could say that technician A could be working on tiles 1 through 10 and technician B could be working on 11 through 20. That really allowed our teams to work more efficiently with less overall input directly from the management, without a way to really distribute out bite-sized chunks. We were having to fight, download times or switching from one computer to the other, and it's been a godsend being able to incorporate TopoShare into our workflow, because as a small company, when we got on board with the mobile mapping, the terrestrial, the aerial LiDAR, we had challenges initially because we were working as a small firm. We had a little bit less to work with. We don't have a multi-million-dollar budget that we can work with.
Exactly.
So being able to be efficient and having TopoShare Basic as a free service that's included with our license has been really a game changer for us.
Just recently we grabbed TopoShare, and it's been a huge improvement for our efficiencies. So the ability to move data between our offices, we have extractors in multiple offices, so it makes parsing the data and moving the data and the ability to work on multiple data sets a lot easier.
Tell us a little bit about your workflow across your multiple offices. So you said that you have extraction and data collection, data processing in multiple centers. So how integral is being able to share that information across?
Oh, it's, with the advent of all the technologies, the ability to be remote and still work together has been important. And, like through Microsoft Teams, that helps a lot. But now the ability to share the data and work on the data across the platforms, not just communicating across the platforms, is huge.
So currently you're using the platform for internal purposes, meaning you have your different operations pulling information from the platform. Do you think it would be a valuable tool to share information across other parts of your organization, maybe through engineering or even leadership, or across different other clients or stakeholders?
Sure. As our clientele gets smarter and more intelligent into the use of the data versus working in the data, we can work on the data. And having that ability to share that and see that and manipulate that in multiple platforms, our engineering teams are now starting to understand true designs in 3D. So instead of just designing lines on paper and making it up from there. So that is going to be a huge advent as we go further into the future.